This is Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a marvelous day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. Well, today I'm asking the question, what would you call Nikki Haley? Nikki Haley is the daughter of Indian immigrants to the United States. She's the former governor of South Carolina, and she is presently running for president of the United States. So everybody, let's give Nikki Haley a big hand. So there are many things that we could call Nikki Haley. We could call her beautiful. We could call her intelligent, energetic, ambitious, and we could say that she seems like a very nice person. But one thing you had better not call Nikki Haley around Kaitlin Collins on CNN is white. The other day, Bakari Sellers, who is a CNN commentator and a former state representative for the state of South Carolina, was on CNN talking about Nikki Haley's run as president and was discussing her record when she was governor of South Carolina. Nikki Haley was governor of South Carolina when the crazed gunman, Dylann Roof, went into the church, Mother Emanuel Church in Charleston, and destroyed the lives of 9 black worshipers. As governor, Nikki Haley made the executive decision to remove the Confederate flag from the state capitol, realizing that it is the presence of that flag and the prominent position that it is given in these states that emboldens people like Dylann Roof to do the things that they do. Much of the country applauded her for taking that flag down, for making that decision, because it was a bold decision for her to make. And many of us praised her. I was happy they took the flag down. I don't care if she was a Republican governor. I regretted the circumstances that had to occur for her to do it, but I was glad that she took the flag down. But Bakari Sellers wasn't having it. And he doesn't want her to get undue credit for doing what he thought she should have done before then. He says one of the major elements of the Nikki Haley story is Charleston. Nikki Haley did not take down the Confederate flag. That bothers me when she alludes to it or people state that, because that's incorrect. 9 people died so that the Confederate flag could come down. So he's saying that she shouldn't be getting credit for it because people had to die before she did it. Well, I mean, we could debate that if we wanted to, but that's how he feels. He's a South Carolinian, and no doubt, like other black people in these southern states, we have been trying to get them to take those flags down. Those flags don't represent anything good as far as black people are concerned. So I understand what he's saying, that she should have had the decency to take it down before then. But the reality is nobody else had taken it down before she did. So, I think you just have to, you have to pick a side. You just have to pick a side. But he did back it up and soften his stance. He said, but there also has to be some credit given to a white governor from the Deep South being able to go to 9 funerals, because I saw the exhaustion on her face, being a leader during that time and being able to bridge people together. So he was willing to give her some credit, but the Wicked Witch of the West was listening. And the comment that she was a white governor from the Deep South drew a stiff correction from anchor Kaitlin Collins, who pointed to Nikki Haley's Indian ancestry. She is the first woman of color that is running in this. She shot back at Bakari Sellers. So she corrected him very quickly that Nikki Haley is not a white woman from the Deep South. She is the daughter of Indian immigrants. And see, this is why people like Yvette Carnell and others say we really need to do away with whiteness. Because first of all, the fact that she removed that Confederate flag ought to be standing on its own, regardless to her race. So Bakari Sellers, I'm not sure why he said she was white, because he knows what her ancestry is. But the fact that Kaitlin Collins would come out like, he had committed some cardinal sin just by calling a woman who in other parts of the world probably would be considered white just because he called her white. Oh, she gonna call him out on that. All of this focusing on race all the time in America is just exhausting. It's just exhausting. But this is the American-made wake-up call, and eventually every non-white person in America gets it. So I was just thinking about that, and this has got to be the worst nightmare for these Indians and other immigrants who are coming here thinking they're going to merge into white society and get called white. So what would you call Nikki Haley? What would you call someone who is very ambitious and who wants to be the president of a country that her family hasn't even been here that long? And yes, you do need to have been here for some time and learn the culture of America. And Indians seem to be on a tear more than other immigrants to get into the political system in America and start running things. We have this Vivek guy that hasn't even run for a school board member, and now he wants to be the president of the United States. And this Dinesh D'Souza guy has been spewing his hatred against black people for over 20 years. Nobody even knows what's wrong with this guy. But here he is with President Reagan. That's how far back his white supremacist sentiments go. But they can give it a shot. They can give this trying to merge into white society a shot. But black people know something that they don't know. White people don't give up anything for minorities. But Nikki Haley's story has a little twist to it. Her father taught at Voorhees College, which is an HBCU. That was his first job in the United States. Nikki Haley went to Clemson University in South Carolina. That's a big deal in South Carolina. And she is married to a commissioned officer in the South Carolina National Guard, which doesn't sound like such a big deal. And her daughter, who also went to Clemson, recently got married. And look at who she married. His name is Joshua Jackson. He played football at Clemson. He recently graduated from Clemson with a major in education. And when they got engaged, Nikki Haley proudly announced the engagement of her daughter. So she apparently approves of this relationship. So Nikki Haley is covering all of the bases. I used to not think very much of Indians who joined the Republican Party because I always saw them as trying to latch on to white people by taking on their white supremacist talking points and mentality and becoming anti-black. But she has shown me a different side of an Indian person in American politics. I am in the process of revising my opinion of her. I think she does want to be in politics. I think that she sees a way that she can do some good. And I think she can do some good because she had the nerve to take that flag down. And most people would not take those flags down. You have to bicker and argue with them about those flags. And in Alabama, I think I said this in another video, the only reason they took it down in Alabama was because the Mercedes people said they were not going to bring their operation to Alabama as long as they had that Confederate flag up. And so they took it down. So Nikki Haley, to me, is still under investigation. I'm still going to watch Nikki Haley. But as it stands right now, I don't see any real harm that she's doing. And she might be able to do some good if she could get to a level where she would have the power to do some good. She might. So, what would you call Nikki Haley? Well, I think I would call Nikki Haley a decent human being. That's what I think I would call her. And until she proves otherwise, I'm going to say that she is a decent human being. And the reality of it is that is all she needs to be. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, share the video, and as always, have a great day.